Hey y'all, Beth here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm going to catch you up real quick. My name is Beth, and I have been a carnivore for 10 and a half months now. My reason for going on to carnivore was to cure long-lasting symptoms from years of undiagnosed autoimmune disorder called celiac disease. And I have been able to do that. I have reversed a lot of the pain in my joints. My skin is healthier, my gut is healthier, and I feel like my brain is definitely working better than it used to. So I'm really glad that I started this carnivore journey. And as I was thinking about January being World Carnivore Month, I thought, wouldn't it be great if somebody had given me things to focus on as I started my carnivore lifestyle? So that's what I want to give you today. My top 10 things to think about as you start your carnivore lifestyle. It doesn't matter if you're watching this video right now before World Carnivore Month or during January. Anytime you decide to start a carnivore lifestyle, these top 10 tips will be helpful to you. The first thing I think you should do going into a carnivore lifestyle is understand your why. Why is it that you are starting this new, pretty drastic change in your eating habits, especially if you're coming from a standard American diet? And my reason, I've just told you, was to heal a broken body. And my big why for staying on carnivore is that I want to live to be 100, and I want to dance at my great-grandchildren's weddings. So I feel like the changes that I have experienced over the last 10 and a half months on carnivore are definitely helping me work in the direction of my big why. Whenever I feel tempted to do something completely different, whenever I feel tempted to get off plan or make a choice that is not on plan, then I just remember I'm going to live to be 100, and I'm going to dance at my great-grandchildren's wedding. And that is all the motivation that I need to stay on plan. The second thing that I would suggest you think about as you're starting your carnivore journey is this one month, this very first month, just focus on the food. This is not the time to start an exercise plan or a personal growth plan. I think that the carnivore lifestyle has so many benefits, and it does present a few challenges. I do believe that just focusing on the food in the beginning is going to be all you need to worry about. I know that a lot of people are very goal driven, and they like to set New Year's resolutions. I've always been one of those people, and I've always kind of had a plan to set New Year's resolutions in different areas of my life. But having been through carnivore and having started it fresh in February of last year, I can tell you that just focusing on the food is enough. Not only will it make it easier for you to be successful, but you will also reap some of the other rewards along the way. So for just this one month, focus on the food, eating the right foods, not eating the wrong foods. And then if you want to start some of those other resolutions, do those next month. The number 3 thing that I think you should think about when starting this lifestyle is keep it simple. This diet is very simple by nature. You eat meat and animal products. You don't eat plants, and you don't eat anything artificial. It's very simple, very cut and dry. I would not use my first month on carnivore to go seeking out carnivore ways of cooking non-carnivore things. You know what I'm trying to say? This is not the time to learn how to make carnivore biscuits or carnivore pasta or carnivore ice cream. Use this first month to just keep it simple. Eat meat, eat some dairy, eliminate the plants, eliminate anything artificial. It's very simple. Just eat the meats, eat the bacon, eat the eggs, eat the butter, eat the steak, eat the ground beef, eat the pork, eat the chicken, eat the meats, and eliminate the plants and the artificial things. Don't go looking for special recipes to make the meat taste like other dishes that you're accustomed to having. Just keep it simple. Now is the time to keep it simple. After your first month, when you've reaped the rewards of 1 month of carnivore, you can start looking for some of those other ways to consume carnivore foods. My fourth recommendation is that this first month you keep it as clean as possible. That means no spices, no alcohol, no coffee, no tea, no artificial sweeteners, no soda. Eat meat, dairy, eggs, water. Keep it as clean as possible. That way, after your first month, if you start adding these things back in, you'll be able to keep track of what it is that causes inflammation in you. If you leave those things in during this first month and you don't reap the complete benefits of a carnivore diet, you won't know why. You won't know if it's coffee or if it's spices that are causing you to still have problems in some area. So the carnivore's benefits is being a perfect elimination diet. So eliminate the junk, eat the meat, keep it simple, keep it clean. So obviously, before you get started, you need to make preparations. So the number 5 thing is that you clean house and stock the fridge, okay? Number 1, clean out all of the non-carnivore foods that are currently in your house that are going to cause you stress, cause you to stumble. If you still have chips and crackers and sweets and things like that in your pantry, now is the time to clean them out. Give them to somebody, donate them to a food pantry, do something, but don't allow the foods to stay in your house that might cause you to stumble this first month. And then, in addition to that, stock the refrigerator and the freezer with as much meat as you can that's going to sustain you for at least your first 2 weeks. Nothing will throw you off plan more than going to the grocery store when you are stressed out. If you go to the grocery store because you're hungry, because you don't have anything to eat in the house, in the middle of this plan, while you're maybe going through carb addiction withdrawals, it might be too stressful on you. So make sure before you start that you have at least 2 weeks worth of food in your house ready to eat. The meat will freeze, the eggs will keep in the refrigerator, the cheese, anything that you have that's carnivore will be stable in your refrigerator and your freezer for at least 2 weeks. So go ahead and stock up. The things that I would suggest you stock up on: eggs, maybe some heavy whipping cream, plenty of butter and ghee, steak, bacon, ground beef. If you don't get anything else, just stock up on a bunch of that and you will have what you need for at least your first 2 weeks. Number 6, in the beginning, plan on eating 3 times a day. When I started carnivore, I was already on intermittent fasting. I was already breaking my fast at around noon and eating until about 6:30 or 7. So I was kind of on a 16-8, 18-6 intermittent fasting plan. So when I started carnivore, that's kind of where I stayed in the beginning. But then I realized that I felt better when I ate a carnivore breakfast, ate a carnivore lunch, and ate a carnivore dinner. Then I wasn't hungry between meals. I didn't feel the need for snacking. And I still felt amazing, and I still lost weight in the beginning. So I would suggest that going into this, you just plan on eating 3 times a day. And you can keep it very simple. I've mentioned that already. In the very beginning, if you want to, just plan on eating eggs and bacon for breakfast, hamburger patties for lunch, steak for dinner. It's so easy. and you will feel so satiated that you won't feel a need for snacks in between. If you do, for some reason, need a snack in between, go back to those carnivore foods. Think hard-boiled eggs, bacon. Kelly Hogan calls purse bacon. Take bacon with you when you leave the house. Take 100% beef hot dogs with you when you leave the house. Maybe get some Country Archer beef sticks. I love those. I take some of those with me when I go. Hard-boiled eggs are great to travel with as well. So if you're having trouble with getting hungry between meals, make sure you have carnivore things with you to eat. But I truly believe that if you eat a good, large carnivore breakfast, carnivore lunch, carnivore dinner, you will not feel the need for snacking in between. And remember, a lot of us are accustomed to cutting back whenever we start a nutrition plan. And it is not necessary with carnivore to think about cutting back. Eat, 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 eat. Your body needs the nutrition. This first month, you're going to be doing so much healing, and your body is going to need that nutrition to heal its tissues so that you can then move forward and sustain this plan and continue to get healthier and also continue to lose body fat. So eat. The number 7 thing that I wish I had done that I did not was take beginning measurements and photos. I hate selfies. I've become more accustomed to them since I've gone on this journey, but I would highly recommend that you either have somebody else snap some pictures of you in your workout clothes or a bathing suit or whatever you're comfortable in. Snap some pictures, take some measurements with a tape measure, your chest, your waist, your hips, your thighs, maybe your arms. Get those measurements in the beginning because in my case, I lost 10 pounds in the first 3 weeks. So by the time I thought about taking measurements, I had already lost a significant amount of weight. So I wish that I had taken the measurements to start out with. So get those measurements, take those photos. Of course, you're going to get a starting weight, and then don't do it frequently. Once you get started on the plan, I recommend only weighing yourself maybe once a week and taking those measurements maybe once a month. But you'll have that starting point, and that'll help keep you motivated as you move down the road. The number 8 thing that I did that I'm glad I did, and I suggest that you do as well, is keep a journal. I started my journal before I even got started on carnivore with all the reasons that I wanted to get on carnivore. I made a list of all the little complaints that I had about my body and about my health. Skin problems, joint problems. I had a hernia that kept popping out. It has gone away. Bunions, plantar fasciitis, foggy brain, gingivitis. I mean, I had this big long list, I think 25 things that I was hoping I might get some relief from once I started carnivore. So I would suggest that you make your list of things that you would like to improve upon. And then as you start your journey, keep a list every day of how you feel. Are you tired? Are you lethargic? Did you sleep well? Did you have trouble sleeping? Are you having oxalate dumping? Do you have the keto flu? What are your bowel movements doing? Keep a list of all those kinds of things as you go along in the form of a journal. And then you can go back and look at that journal and you'll realize, oh my gosh, I haven't had a headache for 4 days, or oh, I've slept better for the last week, or oh, my knee hasn't hurt for 2 weeks. And it's great to have those realizations because those little non-scale victories are the gift of the carnivore lifestyle. The number 9 thing is I would suggest that you remember that you are responsible for you. Nobody else is going to take accountability for your success. Only you can do that. It's wonderful to get 100% buy-in from your family members and to have everybody on board, but that's not the case with everybody. So you have to realize that in your home, Whatever your role is, you are responsible for you. Just because you're making side dishes for the kids and they don't eat what's on their plate, you don't have to finish it. Just because you're grabbing food on the way home from basketball practice and there's nuggets in the car, chicken nuggets, you don't have to eat those. Only you can be responsible for what goes into your mouth. When I first started carnivore, I told my husband what I was going to do, and it's just the two of us in our household, so it's relatively easy, to be honest. So I told him what I was going to do, and he's like, babe, you go ahead. You do you. I'm going to continue to do me. So I agreed with him that I would make sure that there was meat in the house for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And anything that he wanted beyond that was his responsibility. I wasn't going to buy it, I wasn't going to make it, and I most certainly wasn't going to eat it. So that's how we started out. And I'll be honest with you, that lasted for about a month. And then guess what? He slowly but surely stopped making his own side dishes. He stopped buying potato chips and potatoes. And we haven't bought canned vegetables in 10 and a half months. We do currently have some fresh vegetables in the refrigerator from Thanksgiving, but he bought them and he made the side dishes. My point is, you have to be responsible for you. You can't blame anybody else, and you can't let anybody else be responsible for your meal prep. If you are the only one in the household doing carnivore, you need to make sure that you have the food that you need and you are making the food that you need for you to be successful. And the number 10 thing that I want you to remember, and this is something that I say frequently on my channel, it's a choice, not a cheat. We are all really good at starting a program like this and getting a few weeks down the road and everything is going great. And then you have that one temptation that you come in contact with. And maybe you succumb, maybe you do not. That's your choice. But if you do succumb, I want you to think of it as I made a choice to eat something off plan, and I'm going to get right back on plan the very next meal. It's a choice, not a cheat. You are not completely derailed until you choose not to get back on the train. So, if you have one of those moments where you make a choice to eat something that is not on the carnivore plan, I would suggest that you put that behind you and get right back on plan the very next meal. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till the first of the month. Get back on plan right away. You might have some consequences from the choice that you made, and you will learn what those consequences are as you move along. You'll realize that, okay, if I eat a little bit of fruit, it's going to mess up my digestion for a couple of days. Or if I eat seed oils, I might get a headache. Or if I eat some processed food, it's going to gunk up the system for a little while. So you will start learning what those consequences of your choices are. But when you do make those choices, I suggest that you get right back on plan the very next meal. You can't make up for the bad choices by fasting or by purging. You can't undo those choices once you've done them. Live with it, move forward, and be better every day. So that is 10 things that I think that you could focus on if you're starting a carnivore lifestyle tomorrow. I hope that if you haven't already started on carnivore, that you will seriously consider January, World Carnivore Month, as a great time for you to get started. There's going to be a lot of information out on the interweb of people sharing their carnivore journeys during that time. So there will be a lot of motivation and inspiration for you in the month of January. But if you're watching this video and January has already passed, I still recommend that you get started today. There is no time like the present for you to take control of your health and take control of your future. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you watching to the end. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I really love reading your comments, so I hope that you will leave me a comment. If you've been a carnivore for a minute, go ahead and tell me in the comments below what you feel like was one thing that you did in the beginning that helped you be successful. I love reading those. Thanks for coming along. I'll see you next time. Bye now.